Welcome to UglyScale Press. I am TerrorPUP, and we are in my home office, not the recording desk, and I am using my iMac um, that is running Fedora 40 because I wanted to be in my office working on converting Libvirtd disk images to something I could run on Proxmox, and I wanted to show you guys how to do this real quick. Well, not real quick. My videos tend to be long and winded, and hopefully you guys gain insight from them. That's why they're long like that. I could do cookie cutter real quick, but I want to be able to teach you guys so that you can uh, learn from what I've learned and save you some time. Okay? And plus, by me sharing with you, it also helps reinforce what I've learned. Part of the reason I, been a home labber is so that I can learn and then help out others. All right. So, real quick, the long story short is I have a couple machines in my office that run Libvirtd. It was my first hypervisor software. Um, before I got into Proxmox. In fact, the first couple times, you know, 10 years ago when I was trying out Proxmox, it was a nightmare. In fact, I had pretty much swore it off and I was like, I don't get why people are using this. The company I was working for, they were a big Citrix Zen shop. The free version of Citrix Zen shop, or sorry, Citrix Zen, not Zen shop. Citrix Zen had a governor in place, and for those of you who don't understand what a governor is, in cars, they will put a device that when you hit a certain speed, it will shut the engine down or lower the engine down so that you can't drive fast. Japan has that in their vehicles. Um, I found that out driving my ex-father-in-law's car, and when I got it past 55 miles an hour, it beeped hideously, and the engine started slowing down. But anyway, so Citrix Zen has this governor in place which wouldn't let me run a lot, so I converted everything from Citrix Zen to Libvirtd. We actually use physical hard drives for some of our servers. It was beautiful. So first thing I set up in my home lab was Libvirtd so I could continue running virtual guest. I'm getting into containers, but if I had to choose between containers and virtualization, I'll go with virtualization every day because, well, that's a discussion for another day. Okay. All right. So in my lab, one of the other super micro machines I have is my DNS server. It is the one thing in my house that if it goes offline, pretty much everything in my house goes offline. I'd like to upgrade that server to something that is a little bit more reliable. I'm thinking about making it into another TrueNAS server. Um, the server itself can only go up to 32 gigs of memory. It has 8 cores, that's good. Um, it has 6 slots on it, so I could buy 5 10 terabyte drives, rate them, and have one drive for the OS. But um, it's something to think about. But right now, since I got Nexus, that was the Proxmox is running the TrueNAS server up and running, I want to move some of my Libvirtd hosts to it and make sure that one, that I have backups. So unfortunately, going physical to virtual, I could do P2V software, but the server that we're going to be converting eventually, it's a little bit cumbersome to do that because of the disk size. So it's just easier for me to build a new vert, get my software over there, and do what I need to do. But some of the software, it is, it's stupid to do virtualization under virtualization. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Libvirtd images or guests, and we're going to move them off of this server over to the other one. Now, I've shut them down, and I only have 2 servers running on this particular box. And Virt Shell is something built into Libvirtd where you can actually go into the hypervisor and take a look at all your systems that are up and running. Right now, my state is shut down. Okay. And, I can do a lot with this, and we can talk about that another day. I really do like Libvirtd. It's one of those softwares that if you're running a Linux distro and you're on top of, you can run it on top of the distro, and you don't have to give up whatever you want to do. If you are running a box, well, not even a box. Let's say you have a nice tower that you're running Linux on as your desktop, and if you don't want to run VirtualBox, you don't want to run VMware Workstation, install Libvirtd, call it a day. It's free. No licensing, no having to fight with it. A lot easier than setting up Microsoft's Hyper-V on Windows. So anyway, these are the 2 images that we're going to move off of this box over to the other one. So the first thing that we have to do is, before I can get them up and running on Proxmox, is I have to change the image. And to do that, we have to, convert them. And to convert them, we're going to use QM, and QM, which is part of Proxmox, is part of Libvirtd, has a command called QM image that you can see here on the screen. And then you do a space convert, and then -F is the file format that we're currently using, and the output is what we want to convert it to, and then we take the old file name and the new file name. Now, I've already did this because of time. It takes a while for it to up and run. The other thing I've already done is I went ahead and SCP'd the image over there. So you'll run this, and it took me to do this 100 gig file. It took about 20 minutes for it to convert it. Okay. And you'll notice right away that the size difference, is from the conversion. Now we're missing about 58 gigs, so I'm hoping it converted it right. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So in order to, you can't use raw, and that's what a .image is with the Libvirtd. You have to run a QCal2 image. So you, again, run your conversion, without this stuff at the end. I don't know why I have artifacts like that, but I'll put a link into the description so you guys can see it. You run it, you convert it, then you SCP it over to the other host. Now we don't have to do a dump. Part of the reason I love Libvirtd is you could do a virt shell dump of a host, which kicked out an XML file that you could take this, actually the raw or a QCal, and move it over to a different server and get it up and running. In fact, that's part of the reasons that the one company I worked at, we moved from Citrix and I told you about to Libvirtd, because if we lost systems, I was doing backup of critical systems to our NAS, and I could deploy them anywhere. In fact, okay. So anyway, we got our image and we got it SSH over there. So let's go ahead and bring up our Proxmox server. So this is Nexus. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a host, and we're going to do Dragon Keeps because I've already got Magi up and running. Okay, it's running great. Just kind of give you guys a overwhelm. So we're doing pretty good. Okay, so we're now going to do Dragon Keep so you guys can see what I did. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come in and you're create a VMware. Okay, and I'm going to keep the name the same because we're moving from the old server to the new server. Okay, so we'll do that. And I'm not going to use any media because technically what we're doing is we're going to do a dis import, which already has the OS. And I'll show you guys with Libvirtd later on how you can import images and things like that. So I am going to do part of my home labbing series, Libvirtd, because it's awesome. All right. And we'll hit next. And we're going to leave this the same because one, I wasn't using UEFI. Okay, I was still using a regular BIOS. So yeah, they're a little bit insecure. That's fine. But, you know, we want to be able to keep it compatible. All right. Now, we're going to leave this like this for now because, again, we're importing a disk, but you have to have something. So just go ahead and hit next. CPU, because again, I don't have a modern CPU that has the encryption, we're going to drop it down. I'm going to go ahead and increase the cores to 4. Not 14, 4. We'll hit next. 2 gigs is what I was running on this. This is a FreeBSD image. It's 10 years old, so FreeBSD 10 or 11, but anyway, go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep it on this network, and we'll hit confirm, and there's our image, and we will go ahead and hit start. All right, so it's there. Okay, let's go ahead and click on it, because now this is where we're going to do our magic. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come remove this hard drive. So we're going to do detach, and then we're going to click it again, and we're going to hit remove. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, and forgive me, I have notes over here that I'm looking at. So the next thing I need to do is I need to bring in that QCal that I converted over. And we're going to have to go into our Proxmox shell. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our storage. And you don't have to, because if you know it off the top of your head, you can. But I just want to show you that the image is here. Now, I did try to do use the original raw images, and I found out that Prox doesn't like it. That's why I'm doing this video to share with you. It really does want the QCal2 image. So let's go ahead and clear up some disk space and go ahead and get rid of those images. And again, these are raw files. I tend to prefer raw over a QM. Anybody's welcome to disagree with me, but I tend to get better I/O output with raw over the QCal. All right, so they're gone. Okay, and just to show it one more time, they're gone. So the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and I need to assign, okay, this drive to my image. So the command is qm import disk, okay, And you need your VM ID, and it is 113. Okay, not the host name. We want the ID because you can rename it. Proxmox doesn't care what you rename it. It wants that ID. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to next select our image name. And then this is where part of the reason I went to this drive is I want to make sure that I have my storage. This is my ZFS storage for Nexus. Okay, and there it is. So now QM import disk 113, our QCal2 disk image, and where we wanted to store it. Technically, I could use one of my other storage arrays, store it there, and then run this command, and it should import it onto the different storage. But save some time, it's already there. Now this part, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off, but I'm going to pause the video because this will take some time too, but I want to show you what it's going to do. All right, so we're going to do that. It's now importing it, and oh no, maybe it'll do, oh, it's going to do it a lot quicker than I thought it will. Okay, it is now taken that image and it's now importing it over. Okay, and then once this is done, okay, this kind of show you. Let's go over here real quick. I'm gonna click. Actually, no, we'll let this up and running. Let's open up another. Okay. And let's go ahead and click on our disk image. Or sorry, our storage. Click on VMwares and see it's importing the drive. And if we click back over here, it's done. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's click over here, and now we're going to add it. Okay, so we'll go add hard drive. Okay, and storage is going to be the ZFX X1. Okay. It's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Ah, there it is. It's already imported. I was fixing to create another hard drive. That's what. Sorry, but it's already added. So now what we want to do is we're going to come in and hit edit. Okay, and then SCSI and all that. Okay, so that it knows that it's going to kick it on or have it on there. And boom, there it is. There's our 100 gigs. All right, now if we went to boot it up right now, it's not going to work because over here, okay, you'll notice that our IDE is there and our network's there. And if we click on those, there's our drive, and that's what we need to click. And we also need to move it up to the top. Okay. And now that we've got that, now we'll hit OK. We'll go to console and we'll hit start. Okay. And voila. There we are. And interesting. Let me power it down real quick. Probably because I have it as Linux. So let's do shutdown. And I'm going to look real quick at Oyama, at the hardware. And Okay, that's the same. Options. Oh, I have it as kernel too, so very interesting. It could be also that, again, I haven't ran this image in a long time. Whoop, not what I wanted to do. Let's do a reset real quick. Okay, so the conversion work, the image does see the disk. The OS is not happy because something has changed. I went ahead and tried different orders. I tried to make it what it was on the QM. It's just not happy. So I wouldn't recommend this with FreeBSD. But this is the host that I did convert over. Okay. There's the drive that I imported in, and just to show you guys, there it is. Okay. And it did work. So I would not recommend FreeBSD, but maybe it'll work with Linux. I'm going to try importing another one, but the process is simple. So at least now I know I can take my machines from Libvirtd and move them over to Proxmox. Until next time, this is TerrorPUP wishing you guys peace. Okay, guys, just a quick amendment to the video that I was doing. So I went back and rebooted the FreeBSD video, and I found it kind of odd because it booted up, it worked for a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden it just locked up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know I haven't ran this image, like I said, in a long time. And probably should have done the OpenSUSE one because, as you guys saw, it worked. But real quick, on the screen, it looks like it is a good thing that I am moving stuff and going to rebuild the server because I got disk errors. And that would explain why the conversion did not work. So I want to retract one thing I've said previously. I said don't try FreeBSD to do the conversion. I'm going to stand corrected. It probably will work. I was just frustrated because it didn't work for me. But as we can see, it is disk errors, and kind of glad I got my one virtual host off of this, and it is now over on the Proxmox server. So anyway, just wanted to add this to the end of the video. When I do make mistakes, I will correct myself and apologize. So for those of you with FreeBSD, wasn't a slap or slander against you. It's just I was mad because it should have worked. It's hardware issues. So hopefully nobody took it that I was mad at the group or mad at the OS. I was just mad it wasn't working. All right, so this is me really signing off and saying peace. Until next time, have a good one.
A few moments later.